Good morning and welcome. It's a lovely Friday morning and a lot is happening as we speak. My name is Yemi Adebayo. Let me welcome you to the Friday morning edition of Sports This Morning. Well, Valentine's Day will never be the same for Oscar Pistorious. The sporting world has their eyes fixed on Pretoria in South Africa, where the judge is currently delivering judgment in the case of the state against Oscar Pistorius. And of course, he's been found guilty of culpable murder. So we'll be monitoring that. And of course, when the judge decides what his sentence will be, we'll bring that to you. As a matter of fact, we will be on it. And if anything new happens, we will let you know. Well, there's a lot on offer on the show this morning. But of course, everything will be centered on what is happening right now in South Africa. We will be linking up any moment to give you updates from the courtroom and let you know what is happening in South Africa. That's how we welcome you to the show this morning. But of course, let's look at the headlines, the things happening in the world of sports. Well, of course, who is next? Kwesi Appiah is gone. Paulo Bento of Portugal as well is gone. So the question on everyone's lips, who is the next national team manager to be fired? These two happened late last night. And of course, the performance at the World Cup, did not impressive performance at the World Cup. And of course, in the qualifiers for the next major events. Okay, acid test for undefeated American boxer Floyd Mayweather Jr. Is going to be in the rings with Marcos Maidana. The last fight was very close, and then tomorrow for the rematch, it's going to be an acid test for the undefeated boxer. So we'll wait to see what happens when both fighters take to the rings tomorrow. Well, it's going to be the last hurdle for Team USA. Team USA defeated Lithuania yesterday, and of course, one more game to go. At this moment, you won't bet against Team USA. All right, so that's our beats for the headlines, and of course, that will form the outlook of what we'll be doing today. But as I told you earlier, we'll be keeping tabs with what's happening in South Africa, and of course, we're giving you updates as they come. And in that case, against Oscar Pistorius, he's been cleared of two weapons charges, and of course, three charges against him. He's cleared of two, found guilty of one, and of course, the big one. It was almost impossible for him to get out of that one, the culpable homicide. It meant that there was an illegal killing, and of course, it was unlawful and it was negligent. So we'll wait to see what's the sentencing, what will happen. But of course, Oscar, life will never be the same for Oscar after this. Well, let's move on now. Let me quickly introduce my partner on the show this morning. And Kule Philip, it's a pleasure to have you with me this Friday morning.
Yeah, good morning, Yemi. It's always good to be on the show. And of course, you said a lot is actually happening. We are closely monitoring the Oscar Pistorius case. And of course, they will be witnessing so many big games across Europe. So today's edition promises to be
it's going to be very hard to talk about anything else because a lot of this is happening right now as we speak, and so we will do what we can. But of course, anything happens in South Africa, we'll let you know. But that's what has happened for now. All right, I talked about Team USA and the fact that they defeated Lithuania yesterday. Let's see if we can bring that game to you. The 2014 FIBA basketball. That's it on your screen. Let's allow you to enjoy this. Then we'll come back for more on Sports This Morning. Well, it was a landslide victory for United States, and of course, they will be waiting for whoever wins the game between France and Serbia, and that'll be later tonight out there in Spain. And like I said, it's going to be very difficult to bet against Team USA.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult. It was expected that they will actually get the victory against Lithuania yesterday, despite the fact that we know that most of the big guns are not actually in the USA the team right now. And they're still able to do enough. And I think the biggest surprise for me, the game that actually shocked me, was the game involving Spain and France. And, you know, the Spanish team actually could not really muster a victory in that game. Okay. And it was a good one for the French team.
All right, let's see if we can get for you. We told you earlier, Serbia and France will be playing today. And of course, Team USA defeated Lithuania yesterday. That was what you saw earlier. But also, for the women, the WNBA, we're playing the best of 5 series, and that's the final. So let's quickly bring that to you. The Phoenix Mercury and Chicago Sky, they'll be playing today. That's in the WNBA finals. That's for the women, and it's game 3. And the Phoenix Chicago Sky have they lead the series 2-0. So we'll be monitoring that and give you updates as they come. Okay, Kule, let's talk about before we go to football. Let's talk about Floyd Mayweather. Let's talk about boxing, the big one tomorrow. And we've said a lot of things about both boxers, how good they are. I mean, look at the stats. Floyd, in 46 fights, won everything. 26 by knockout. Amazing stats.
Absolutely.
He won the last fight by judges' decision. It's unusual. Most times when Mayweather fights, you expect to see a knockout. It was very close. At some point, the fans were booing the referees. So the question I'm going to put to you this morning is, will everything still be the same if Mayweather loses? Is still going to be that great boxer? Is still going to have that respect?
Yes, he's still going to have the respect because he has really done a lot.
Will people think that Maidana was robbed the last time? Yeah,
because if you look at that game, some judges will actually feel that Maidana should have won ahead of Floyd Mayweather. But of course, I think they were actually right because if you look at how the game actually went, the bout went down. I think Floyd Mayweather, slightly deserves to win the bout. But this one is really going to be very different. I listened to what Floyd Mayweather said some couple of days ago. He said he's not actually concentrating on that game. He's already fully prepared for the game and is looking forward to taking on this Philippine boxer. That's the Manu Pacquiao.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he said he's looking ahead, and he said that's one bout he wants to be involved in before he retires from international boxing. So it's going to be very tough for Floyd Mayweather, but I think this will definitely not change anything from all the achievements, the successes. Lose or win, I think he still remains a very great boxer.
Okay. All right. Everything going on well for the United States in sport, boxing and everything. I mean, what you saw earlier, United States defeating Lithuania by 96 points to 58.
Absolutely.
And everything seems to be going on well for United. But let's come to football and talk about 2 things that happened yesterday. No one saw it coming. Paulo Bento for Portugal.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Then, as we're about to go to sleep, Kwesi Appiah.
Yeah.
And let's talk about these two quickly. Did anyone come as maybe Paulo Bento? Maybe not too surprising.
Yeah, Bento wasn't too surprising. The last time they World Cup, it was a dismal performance.
1-1 game.
Yes, and
now they're losing to Albania.
So even the last time I enrolled to the World Cup, they actually struggled to qualify for
the playoffs.
So I think he actually deserves the sack that he actually got. But for Coach Kwesi Appiah, I think I was actually surprised, though he was given a target. If you take into the allegation of what people are actually saying in Ghana is that it wasn't too impressive at the last World Cup. The Black Stars crashed out
in the first
first round. But I think if you have to look at the group they had, I think that was the group where the eventual champion of the World Cup emerged from, and they played out an impressive performance, a game against them.
Okay.
And when one other thing they actually leveled, the allegation they leveled against Kwesi Appiah was the fact that the Ghanaians they were outplayed.
Well, let's put it this way: your employers don't need to level any accusation against you. If they want to fire you, they will fire. All they need.
No, they said
yes,
that
all
was
they
what
need is
they
an
said.
excuse.
Yes,
all
yes,
they need is
absolutely.
an excuse.
They said it wasn't impressive in the game against Uganda.
But in your opinion, it wasn't genuine.
It wasn't genuine because it won the second game 3-2 in against Sudan. So I think it wasn't the sack wasn't really. They already had that in plan because they said the former Ghanaian coach, that's Rajovic, who was actually in charge of the Black Stars in 2010, took the Ghanaians to the quarterfinal of the World Cup. Also got to the final of the Nations Cup as well. It remains the best coach Ghana ever had in their history. I think that is the coach the Ghanaian Football Federation, led by Kwesi Yantaki, are planning to actually employ in replacement for Coach Kwesi Appiah.
Okay. Let's move on and let's talk about our own. Let's talk about Coach Stephen Keshi. But before we go on, in today's proceedings, that's talking about the Oscar Pistorious case. I told you earlier that he's been found guilty of culpable homicide, and he's been acquitted of 2 weapons charge, found guilty of 1, that's illegal possession. But the sentencing is set for a later date, so it's not going to be today. But of course, you can take it from us that Oscar has been found guilty of culpable homicide, but the sentencing would not be today. It's set for a later date. We bring you more updates as we get them, and like I said, Valentine's Day will never be the same.
Absolutely.
And life generally will never be the same. I mean, take your journey from 0 to hero all the way back down.
Yeah.
And it's really sad.
Very sad.
Even if he was cleared of all charges, I'm still thinking life will not
will never be the same. Yeah, the stigma
for the Blade Runner, but really don't know. The sporting world definitely will. I mean, we're still trying to recover from the shock. That this is a guy that fought. I mean, there were so many things against him. Yeah. He fought. I mean, he didn't accept fate, and that was something remarkable about Oscar.
Absolutely.
And you know, I still want to remember the good things about Oscar. I went to the Court of Arbitration for Sports. I challenged everything that came against him.
Yeah.
I want to run with able-bodied athletes. Don't tell me I'm disabled. I know I'm disabled. And he did all of that, brought hope to a lot of people, and for many, hero, respected, loved by all, respected by many.
Yeah.
But everything just came crashing on February 14, and life generally will never be the same, no matter the sentence, even if it gets a year or whatever. We don't know what the laws are like in South Africa. We're probably going to have to look to that and give you an idea what lies ahead for Oscar. So I really don't know much about South African law, but we'll have to find out what the amount of years is going to get and whatever is going to happen.